Alright. Game Cooker US Rocks VR here. How you doing today? Playing some more Hunter Primal. See if the sound works. I don't know what that noise is. Alright, seems like the sound is working okay. Let's hope the stream works out okay. Alrighty. I got my notifications here going off. Alright, so yeah. Just join the server if you want to play. There's room for 7 more, I think. I'm playing on my laptop, my RTX 3080 laptop. The specs are up there on the screen. So just check that out. Let me see if I can put up the NVIDIA stuff here. Doesn't always work with every game. And it's not showing up on the screen anyway, because I'm not in windowed mode. This game doesn't really work too well because you can't put it in. Well, I didn't put it in Windows borderless mode. Anyway, check the links in the details section for game deals. Or if you want to look for this game, see if those two sites have it. Don't forget to like, sub, and share. So since I'm on my laptop, I thought I had the game installed on here before, because I'm pretty sure I played it with this laptop, but I must have uninstalled it for some reason, probably because I was running out of hard drive space. But I recently put in another, SSD, so I reinstalled it, but then funny thing is I spawned in the last place that I played, but as you can see, I'm level 1. So I got nothing. So I'm starting out as a noob. I mean, I'm gonna put in my old save file later, but I don't have much time here, so I got like 2 hours. To try to do some hunting here, and I'm in a really bad area. A super, super bad area. Very bad. I wonder if it's quicker to go to Site D over here, you know? Maybe I'll do that instead. I already got somebody stalking me. Maybe if I come over here, I'll find some kind of a better weapon than this. There's eggs. Still having some major sinus issues here, which probably is hay fever, since the pollen is still pretty crazy. There's a box up there. It's a little too far away though. I'm gonna go ahead and just stick with going to Site D here. So you might notice the title of my video here. Do as I say or you don't do. That's pretty much the climate of today in the world. You know, we already got the cancel culture. We already got the smear your name if you don't think like we do. Already got the get fired if you say the wrong things. In the you know, not really wrong things, but you know what the mainstream or left decides is wrong. You know, true right and wrong got thrown out the window. I am gonna get killed here. Wow. Now, you know, your bank accounts will get frozen. You won't even be able to get a bank account. You know, there's a guy who was denied a bank account because people were calling him a racist or white supremacist. Now, whether that's true or not, you know, you don't trample on people's rights, you know? And I'm not saying that I agree with white supremacy, obviously not, but people's definition of what is white supremacy is not the true definitions of what white supremacy ever used to be called, or what is, you know what I mean? So that's the problem there. But now, before it was, let's get 60% of the population vaccinated, and then, you know, we'll be good to open up again, right? Because the other 30%, you know, they'll eventually, you know, the herd immunity will kick in and, you know, everything will be good, you know? In other words, the most vulnerable would have been vaccinated already. That was supposed to be the idea, right? The rest of the people, like the more general population between, you know, from young kids to like say 40, 45, 50, you know, they're pretty much close to zero of dying from the sickness. It'll be just like getting the flu, you know what I mean? So, but now they're pushing rhetoric, changed it up again. Now they're talking about everybody has to get vaccinated. And if you don't, then you're going to be denied certain privileges like flying. You're going to be denied a job. And in some cases, it may even get down to cutting benefits. You know, you might get less benefits if you're receiving benefits. You know, so I mean, is this what we really want? I mean, this is, you know, I don't really understand the mentality of people. Because this thing, you know, that we just went through for the past over a year now, okay? Over a year. I mean, even if people weren't vaccinated, everything should open up again. Because there's a pretty good chance that most people were already exposed anyway. You know, and again, the people who are most vulnerable are already vaccinated, so there's no reason to drag this on anymore. None. No, none medically, none scientifically. You know, it doesn't really matter what the CDC says. They're not following the science. Although I do have to give them some credit that they did say that people should take off masks. But see, now what they did was pull back from that now because of the rhetoric of the media and the politicians. Now they're saying, oh, yes, take off the mask if you're vaccinated. But if you're not vaccinated, well, you know, you have to keep your mask on because why? There is no because. There's no valid reason to say that people can't take their masks off. You know what I mean? There just isn't. And then you're going to force people. Another thing that is unheard, which should be like totally like criticized, is the fact that you're potentially forcing people to get vaccinated who already had the disease. Now, when did that ever happen before? You know, if somebody if you already have a sickness and you recovered from it, then there's no reason for you to get vaccinated again. You're just, number one, you're performing a medical procedure when it's not necessary. I need some money. Maybe I ought to lure him in, huh? So you're performing a procedure that doesn't need to be performed, and then you're wasting money in the process. You know, time and money to enforce that kind of thing. And again, I don't understand why people are in favor of this. How can, I mean, you really want your freedoms to just be gone? I mean, even people who are, and what? All this is really in justification of what? What's the reason? I mean, there is no other reason except control. And then the same thing with the whole climate change thing, right? Which, climate change is not the issue. Nobody's denying that climate changes. I mean, that's just kind of stupid. But there is no climate doomsday coming. I mean, there's just none. You know, we live on planet Earth. It's a huge planet. You know, and to say that we're going to be spewing more CO2 than the Earth can actually, you know, moderate, so to speak, is just silly. You don't even have to be a scientist to even, like, know that. That's just silly. You know? Because number one, over the past 20, 30, 40 years, we've been reducing our pollution. Our you know, mainly whatever hydrocarbon pollution, which has automatically reduced CO2. So we haven't been increasing CO2. We've been reducing our output of CO2. So even if the CO2 has risen, it doesn't mean that it's from cars. And I understand all the arguments. I watched a video yesterday where somebody was trying to put all these like technical terms about this form of radiation from the sun and that form of radiation that happens on the earth and this amount of this and sunspots, and they basically were debunking, right, the idea that we're going to be going into a cooling trend because of the sun. Okay? And they're saying, and then they were saying that debunking that the sun is the cause for the climate change. And then at the same time they were upholding their end, where they were saying, well, the sun is not the reason why climate's changing. It's because CO2 is increased. And the way that they do their charts, instead of making the chart instead of making the bar say little slivers, right? Where you have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, there's little tiny increments, right? They have it like this, right? So 0.7 is way over here on a big line. And then when you have 0.1, down here, see, this is how much the sun is causing it. 0.1 or whatever their number would be. It looks like this little compared to the CO2. So when people look at the chart, they go, oh my God, look at all that CO2. We're all gonna die. And again, I don't really understand how people get duped so easily. It's like the Bible is right, that people are just not wise. People always tend to gravitate towards foolishness. And the Bible is correct on that. That's just true. People don't think. I mean, the Green New Deal, what is that really for? To save the earth? When, number one, it's going to raise your taxes immensely. It's going to raise your energy bills immensely. Right? It's gonna prevent you from doing the things that you always wanted to do in life. So forget about taking all them trips and vacations and all that stuff. Because now you have less money, and now you've been guilted into what? Not driving your car as much? Riding a bicycle? But yet the rich elites, okay, the people who are telling you you need to sacrifice for the sake of the planet and for the sake of humanity, those people, they're traveling all over the earth, having their wonderful vacations, taking their wonderful trips. You see? Okay, I'm not the one to say that it's bad to be rich. It's fine to be rich. I don't care. Make lots of money, But it's just these people get convinced by these scientists, these elites, these academics, these politicians, that they're doing something wonderful for the planet, so sacrifice your own life to do it. You know what I'm saying? Your own, pursuit of happiness. You know what I'm saying? While they sit there and live well, they want to come back and eat me, huh? Maybe because they know I'm hurt. So it's such just immense hypocrisy. And it just amazes me how people just say, here, have you control me. You have my rights. Here, take my money. You know, take my hard-earned money. And I could talk to you about that too, the minimum wage. My goodness. Yes, you're making $15 an hour, right? But guess what? You're going to pay more taxes now because you're in a higher tax bracket from the people who are making 10. So are you going to make more money? Products will be more expensive. So you making more money? They're gonna hire less people. So that means less people are gonna have jobs, or they're just gonna have low-paying jobs. What you were trying to avoid to begin with. They're gonna have to take the low-paying jobs that are left over, that nobody wanted to do before. I mean, it's like this is just all common sense stuff. And it just doesn't seem like anybody's got any common sense. You know, I was a Democrat voter, you know, for many years. And I guess you could say that I was duped too, to think that I had to vote on their side for some special reason, you know, or for some, you know, critical issue. You know, when really the whole time, my whole personal belief was everybody should be free to be who they want to be, to do what they want to do, to live how they want to live. And that should never be controlled by the government, ever. It shouldn't be controlled by corporations, by businesses, nothing. None of that should come into play if you want to get a job, you know, if you want to do things. But here we are. You know? And it just seems like everybody's just sitting back like, cool. Less rights. Oh my Lord. So, you know, Bible's right again. Read that book, The Great Controversy. Read it. It's a little heavy, but you know, if you just read it, concentrate, read it, and get to the end, I guarantee you're gonna have a whole new perspective on what's going on today and who's really behind it. I put something in my community, I guess it's the community tab or whatever it's called. If you go to my community section there, I just put something there. I know most people probably aren't going to want to read it, but you know, I mean, I don't get it. People are just voting their freedom away like it means nothing. I don't really understand, and you're never going to get it back. Once you give the king absolute power, or the emperor, or in this case, the federal government and your state government, this absolute power, you're never going to get it back. Never. The Democrats have been chipping away at states' rights. They've been chipping away at rights on the federal level. They've been oppressing people through unnecessary, crazy regulations, taxes where they're not needed, You know, big, expensive government bills, that cost trillions of dollars that we don't have. Everybody thinks that somehow, like, oh, well, they passed the bill, so we must have the money somewhere. And no, what happens is the money devalues over time. That's all that means. I mean, yeah, you can print more dollar bills, but every exponential amount of dollar bills that you print, the dollar is going to be worth less. I mean, anybody with a brain can look at Argentina, Venezuela, North Korea, Vietnam, Cuba. I mean, Russia. Why did Russia fall? Like, if communism was so good, then why did people get rid of it? You know what I'm saying? Now China, I don't know. I guess because they got a big army. I think they force everybody to go into the army. I'm not sure about that though, but I know they have a pretty good army in China. So, people are probably just scared there because, if you speak against the government, you're going to get thrown in jail. Or you're going to get hogtied if you practice your religion like they did in Canada. I mean, are we really going to tolerate that kind of stuff? I mean, if you take away people's religious rights, then you pretty much have none. A lot of people don't understand that. Freedom of conscience, freedom of individuality is a direct result of the Protestant Reformation. Okay? They're the ones who died so that we could have the freedoms that we have today. So once you take away religious freedom, that's it. You're done. I'm gonna end up dying here. Crap. I don't have no health. I should have stayed up on the mountain. I got no health. Well, I think I have a little bit of money. How much? 28. Woo. I got enough for. I don't even have enough for a handgun because I'm only level 1, level 2, which isn't gonna even stay because it's gonna end up going to 0 again. Wow. But I can't even get health. Can't even get ammo. Huh. Wow. They could at least give you these low-level potions, my goodness. Just gonna end up getting back in there and having nothing. Let's see, I don't know what to get here. 825. So weapons 750. So it's the same. It's like no different. I guess that's it. I lost my knife too. Oh, I think they give you a knife anyway. Actually. Yeah, they always give you a knife. Hey, what's up, Alvin? Wow. Wait, what? That's far, man. The heck? Heck am I? Oh. Wait. Oh, nice. This is good. This is good. I'm on the other side. That's actually better. as long as there isn't like a million Utah Raptor up here. I could probably find some a nice weapon up here. So, you know, I just would like, I'm curious to know what the outcome's going to be with just a new scenario that's happening now, where the government is basically encouraging businesses not to hire people if they're not vaccinated. That's basically what they're doing. Because when they talk about that, that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? See, when they publicly go out and say stuff, they're basically encouraging people to do that. You know what I'm saying? See, Trump always got blamed for, you know, allegedly inciting violence, but he never said anything that was contrary to the rights of individuals. Never, nothing. You know what I'm saying? What he said was stand up for your rights, you know? Healthcare is not a right. You know? That's not a right. You know, hiring you based on your color should not be a right. You know what I'm saying? Where the heck am I? What the heck am I doing here? I'm confused. Where am I gonna go up here? Oh, yeah, here it is, okay. Sorry, I had to text somebody. What's up, Herky? No, I don't have the reset normally. Alvin. I went and installed it on my laptop. I thought it was already there. Yes, I am aware of that. Good, that wasn't my plan anyway. Can't talk too much, I'm streaming. Sorry. Yep. So we're now at the point where people are gonna, the government's forcing people to get vaccinations. Now, some people might say, well, we've always had vaccinations. You can't go to school without one. Well, that's true and to an extent. But no, if you had a religious reason why you didn't want to get vaccinated, I mean, even though you shouldn't need a religious reason, you should just need to say, no, I don't want to get vaccinated. That's it. I mean, there should never have been forced vaccinations to begin with, If anybody's scared, then they're the ones that should be getting vaccinated, right? That's how it works. It's no different than me saying, well, we got all this ice cream here. And you say, well, everybody's got to eat the ice cream. Right? And then some people say, no, I don't want to eat the ice cream. I don't like it. And then another group says, I don't want to eat the ice cream because I don't think it's ice cream. Otherwise, why'd you be forcing us to do that? And then there'd be another group that says, oh, I love ice cream. I'll take it. So that's how it should be. The people who want to eat the ice cream, eat the ice cream. The people who don't want the ice cream, don't want the ice cream. So it should be no different with anything. Because, if the person if the person who wants the ice cream eats the ice cream, then they have the ice cream now in their stomach. They're satisfied. It did its job for them, right? So making somebody else eat ice cream isn't helping you at all. It isn't helping them at all. Because now you're forcing somebody against their will to do something they don't want to do. Isn't that the same as like you, a person sexually assaulting another person and committing rape? Isn't that forcing your will on somebody else? I mean, that's basically, it's the same thing, the same principle. Now the outcome might be different, but it's the same principle. You're raping somebody else's life. You're raping their mind, right? By forcing your will upon them. So there is no difference. And just because the government says so, that doesn't make it right. And this is a common thing that I hear people say, like, well, it's the law, Well, the government said to do it, Well, how does that make it right? Like, none of that makes anything right. Because if you're doing something wrong, it never makes it right. And when you trample on somebody's freedom, it's never right. Ever. It's not right in a socialist country, it's not right in a communist country. It's not right in a supposedly free country. When you step on the will of somebody else, especially about things that are unreasonable, grief, man. How many frickin' arrows? God, that guy should be dead. I really don't feel like chasing that thing, to be honest. I mean, it should have died from just bleeding. Don't you think? Crazy. I'm gonna be out of arrows. Ah! Frickin' thing. I'm not used to the bow and arrow. You can't run when you have it extended. Now I got no frickin' health potions. Oh great, now I got a T-Rex. That's wonderful. I got two actually. I think I seen one off in the distance too. Here he comes. Freaking nice. You know, and the getting back to my point about the mandatory, you know, vax. You know, we already know that, like, you know, diseases like smallpox, polio, and all that stuff. You know, that's quite a different. I'm gonna be dead. Again. Where is he? You know, it's easy to convince people to get a vaccine for something like smallpox and polio, right? Oh my god, really? Jesus gosh, man. Look, no freaking health potion at all. Look at this junk. Really? Why isn't he? Ah, I was hoping he was gonna fall down. Why did he run so hard, man? Did you? What the heck, man? Oh my god. What's up with this guy? to use up all my arrows. Wow, I got him. Woohoo! Jesus. That's the first time I killed a T-Rex with a bow and arrow in a long time. Oh look, I got the spine now. That's what I was trying to hit when I was up top. Dang on, frickin' thing. The heck? He was pretty aggressive too. I think there's another one somewhere. I think I saw another one off in the distance. Phew. That was quite stressful. You know, but yeah, smallpox, the Spanish flu, polio. I mean, those diseases were very deadly. You know what I'm saying? Very deadly. You know, they're what you would call, you know, deadly diseases. Okay, now the Spanish flu, I don't know really how deadly that was. Back then, you know, the common flu killed people more, so it depends on, you know, I guess diet and health. But smallpox, polio, them kind, you know, those whooping cough, whatever, you know, they were kind of, you know, much more deadly diseases, and especially, again, polio and smallpox. You know, polio killed 2 to 5% of the children that got it, right? And that's killed, okay? That doesn't count the ones who were, you know, left crippled, okay? And then compared to that, it killed 15 to 30% of adults, okay? And then if anybody survived, you know, they usually had some kind of a residual problem. You know, maybe not 100%, but quite a few, right? Had some serious problems. Paralysis and stuff. So, to put that in perspective, let's say 1 million people got polio. Let's say 1 million kids got polio, right? Okay, 1 million. Let's just take the lowest number, 2%, right? That would be, you know, 20,000 kids, right? So if 1 million kids got polio, 20,000 at minimum would be likely to die, or up to 50,000. Okay, so it's 20 to 50,000. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. You know, that's 2 to 5 is pretty decent amount. You know, that's a little worrisome. But that's manageable nonetheless, right? It's still manageable. Like we can live with those kinds of numbers, even though they're still, you know, pretty devastating. But now, again, go to the adult population. If you had 1 million people that had polio, then on average, 150,000 would die. Okay? So Think about that. 150,000. Which means if you got polio, you had a 60 you know, worst case scenario, you had a 70% chance, or excuse me, what is it, worst or best? You know, you'd have a 70% chance to live. Okay? So that's pretty bad. But it said 15 to 30%. So out of 1 million adults who get polio, upwards of 300,000 could die. That's just out of 1 million. Okay? Now take C-19 for instance. Let's bring it to our day today, C-19. Okay? You know, the thing that you're not allowed to talk about. Trying to find the other tracks here. Now where this guy went. I thought he went over there. Let me get back here. C-19, on the other hand, has a 95.7% survival rate. Okay? Or 97 or 99 point, no, not 95, a 90, it has a 99% survival rate, you know, more than that, but let's just round it to make it the worst. Okay, so that means 99.5% or whatever it is. So you're talking about 0.5% of the population has a chance of losing their life. That's all. So out of 1 million people, you're talking 5,000, right? Or no? Yeah, out of 1 million, 1% would be 10,000. So yeah, you're talking about 5,000 out of every million would have a chance of not making it. Okay, so we're talking about a 0.5%. Okay. So that's not even like, why are we worrying about this thing? I mean, the common flu, you know, was killing upwards of 80,000 people a year. Okay? During its worst years, so to speak. So why are we treating this thing like it's some kind of like crazy, outrageous, deadly thing when it is not? I mean, that's just the facts. Like, and it's like if you talk about the facts, then you're just like somehow like a bad person. If you're not scared, then somehow you're a bad person. I mean, I don't hear anybody go, you know, get all over social media and say, oh, my grandfather, he died of the flu, he got pneumonia and died. I mean, you don't hear people doing that. They just say, oh, well, I lost my grandfather today because he got the flu and he passed away. And I'm not saying that that's not sad. Of course it's sad. Okay? Any life lost is sad. But, you know, to make this thing out to be worse than that is just not justifiable. And then you have like people getting vaccinated, and then you're saying that that's not good enough. You know, like what is the reason for getting vaccinated? If it's not good enough. I mean, what are you going to say now? We got to wear masks all the time? Every time a new sickness comes out, we have to like put our tails between our rear ends and then, you know, between our balls, you know, or our vagina. and run scared into our closets? I mean, what is it that's happening here? And why are we allowing this to happen? Like, what, for climate change? Because that's really the only reason this is happening. There's no other reason. That's the biggest gripe that the progressives have, is that we must deal with climate change. You know, at all costs, we must deal with it. You know, for the sake of humanity. We'll lose the human race if we don't deal with it. Because there's nothing else that would... It all comes down to that. Power. Power, power, power. How can we grab power? You know, the climate change wasn't working. You know, so now they got to use these, you know, unfortunate, you know, catastrophes or whatever you want to call them, to now scare people. It's like no matter what, the only result is to scare people. Scare them and they'll vote for me. Don't have them look at me. Look at the other people. They're the ones who are the bad guys. But just vote for me. Don't look at my policies that screwed everything up. Look at them, because they're the ones who speak against the policies. Vote for me. You know? So, I don't know. We just live in a crazy world, and the Bible predicted it. You know, the Bible predicted the Dark Ages, too. You know, because people bring up stuff like that and go, what about the Dark Ages? That was pretty bad. And that was because of religion. Well, the Bible predicted that. So, I'm not sure what they're talking about. Come on. Give me a frickin' break. Oh, what? I jumped out of the way. He saw me move. There's no way he could have got me. What the heck is that? I hate that. It's like when you move, like in the air, they turn, like they're like rotating. Like this shouldn't even happen. God. Still can't buy nothing. There's no way. That guy should have died anyway. Shot him with arrows. Horrible. Okay. Here we are again. Getting nothing done. Wow. A million miles from my body. In a place where I can get no goods. Yee-hoo! Nobody wants to get on, huh? I can only play until like, you know, maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock. Anyway, I'm glad that summer's coming. I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be like in the 80s all this week, which is nice. Yeah, I know, it's a weekday. Tuesday, I guess, is not the best day. I was going to play something else, but, you know, that all fell through. And I'm still waiting for people to, you know, get in touch with me. Let's play some co-op games, man. I mean, what is going on? There's so many co-op games out there. I mean, you just have to play hunting games? I mean, there's more to life than just hunting. Oh my god, are you serious? Got to be kidding. Come on. Die. Oh! Come on, these guys. What's going on with this stuff? I mean, there's no way. Like, he should have died. Something's wrong. I think the server's buggy or something, because that guy should be bleeding out. No, I get it, Alvin. I mean, I totally understand that. I grew up on a farm, you know what I mean? So I get it. But I mean, you know, I understand hunting by yourself. I'm talking about playing games. You know, the other games can be fun when you're playing with your friends. I mean, maybe I'm nobody's friend. I don't know. Okay, so where should I go? Everywhere I go is death. Well, at least I got a T-Rex. That's something. I was hoping for a second one before I got killed. So yeah, something's wrong with this, something's wrong here, because nothing wants to die. Let me check something real quick. Okay, nope. I'm showing. I can see myself on the server, so it's not that. Alright, let's try to go out here. Maybe I can get my body back even though it's kind of like... kind of doesn't really have anything I need in it. Maybe something died finally. Because I will need money to buy more stuff. What do we get? Oh, what? Oh. There's a crate way over here. Let me get my body first. Hey Herky, what's up, man? So I don't have any guns or anything. I'm doing the native. Oh, got him. Somebody died. I am like a sitting duck out here though. Sitting duck. I'm a walking piece of fresh meat, ready to be eaten. Alright, Storm. Enough of the storm. Oh, me. Another one gets away. Wow, nice. That's better. Whew. We get to enjoy the morning with the nice, beautiful skies and the sunshine. Where's my body? There I am. Hello, me. Oh, where did I get that stuff from? Whoa! Did I have? I didn't know. Didn't even know I had a shotgun. Okay. Huh. Okay, I don't need that. Don't need that. I must have picked them up at the thing and totally didn't even realize it. Apparently. Now I just need, what, a chest and boots. Interesting. Okay. Great. Haha. Come get me now, Utah. I'll blast you away. That's really funny. Like when you play this way, you really do get excited every time when you get a good weapon again. It is nice to like go back and play with nothing every so often because it's like you get that original feeling of just like joy when you get that first gun. You're like, yeah, it's only got 3 bullets, but hey, it's a gun. Excuse me. Oh, look at that. Got me a health potion. A blue one. Now that'll come in handy. Arrow. Or bow and arrow crap. Alright, shall we try tracking this T-Rex again? Oh, what's this? I think I might get back into Call of the Wild. Oh, again? What the frick, man? Jesus. A lot of blood. Now who's who? I don't know. That was the one. I wonder if I hit him. Or if I just scared him, maybe he just heard the arrow. 7 to 23%. Still isn't bleeding enough. He's bleeding a little more now. I wish you could, like, start multiple counts and play on different levels. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, it would be nice if you could, like, make multiple characters. I mean, all you have to do really is just excuse me, just take out your save file. That's all. And just back it up. And then, you know, make a folder, say this is level 50. You know, this save is just for whatever. Start at 0. You know what I mean? You can do it that way. Takes a little more work, but not much. Like I said, I wouldn't mind playing like this. It's just that when I start it again, it's not going to save my progress. So it's like, you know, I guess it still tallies up your T-Rex kills or whatever. Like, I don't know. I got to see if this number goes up. I don't know if it has gone up or not. 1872. So if I kill another Rex, I have to try to remember that number. Good grief, this thing ain't gonna die. That's pretty stupid. Ah! Good grief, how many shots is it gonna take? No! I don't want him to roll down the hill. I reached level 4. Woohoo! Uh-oh. I could use some more arrows. I'll take some slugs. Oh, here we go. I hear more than one. Bring it on. Yeah, I have to hopefully get a good shot each time because I only got 8 bullets. Like if I stay up on this rock, I could probably just use my arrow. I hear him, but I don't see him. Why not? Oh, there you go. Here, oh, 2. Yikes. Ooh, that's a lot. Oh, come on. He should have died, that guy, man. Shot him right in the chest. It's ridiculous. Come on. These guys take forever. When you don't want them to come, they come, like, quick. Oh, what, you want to run now? Got him. Got him again, I think. We're close. Red face. Right there, look at that lung shot. Should be dead. Finally, my goodness. Whoa! Surprise, surprise, surprise. Alright, I gotta use my health potion, I guess. That sucks. I still hear somebody. I don't hear anybody anymore. I wonder why. Ah, it's because I hit him. Ha 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 ha. Alrighty. Got a little bit of money now. Hey, Kohaku. How are you? Nice to see you. Pleasure to have you on. How you been? Okay? How's work? Treating you well, I hope. Yeah, I want to see if there's a APR over here. Technically, I could give all my stuff to the server. Good grief, dude. I guess your idea of a reasonable conversation is calling people names. And I guess you're one of those types that try to convince everyone else that you're the righteous one. Truth is truth. It doesn't change just because you think it does. Amazes me how people, you know, call you names when they don't like what you're saying to them. This thing dead? He was just standing there looking at me. What'd you say? Let's see. Doing good, working full time. Today is my day off. Oh yeah? Cool. Happy day off, Kohaku. How's the weather over there? We're having a global warming day today. It's gonna be 80. I wish I had the whole day off to do nothing. I would go sit at the beach. And I think from the weather forecast, they're saying that it's going to be getting hotter every day. I think they're by Sunday they said it's going to be like 92 here. It's going to be rainy over there. Well, do you need it? It's good for the crops, right? It's going to be kind of dry here. I think they said no, not really much rain in the forecast for the next 5 days. Probably just chance of thunderstorms, you know, because it's hot, so you know we always have that kind of. Whoa, Chalky's in the game, huh? Yeah. Rain is nice when you need it for sure. You want to play something later, Kohaku? Let me know. I am, let's see. I'll be available probably like after 4. I don't know if they have any. I don't know if the APR spawns here or not. I got a rifle though, so I guess that's something. I hate this kind of rifle though. 2 rifles. Yeah, this game you gotta back up your save file, I guess. That would be the, you know, the suggestion. And especially if whenever you first install the game, it's, I think it's always gonna be 0. So, so I was, what's that game called now? Can't think of it. Hired Gun? I think that's what it's called. What do you guys think about the game called Hired Gun? Unfortunately, it's not a co-op game as far as I read. It's a single player where you're like some kind of a hitman, I guess. Or a hit person, sorry. Eat and run, huh? Good grief, I forgot I spelled out. Yeah, somebody's brought up the Black Death. I'm assuming in reference to what I said earlier, but I'm not sure. I don't know if Wolfie's on the stream watching or not, but... Hello. Ah. Oh! Sucker. Darn it. You got me good. Oh, are you kidding? Give me a freaking break. That guy should be dying. Now I gotta go back, I guess. See if there's any other... Google says you have to pay to use YouTube? That's weird. Why does it say you have to pay to use it? You mean to have chat? Oh yeah, to be able to chat, you have to. I guess you have to have a login. Well, of course. Well, just make a dummy account. That's all. So my health is still going up, huh? That's interesting. I don't know, I don't have it set up that way. I got everyone else is chatting. I'm pretty sure they're not paying me anything. Anyone else having a problem getting on the chat? Is it telling you have to pay? I think you just need to have a login, that's all. And I finally broke 1,600 subscribers. After what, 5 years? Woohoo! Now if everyone just gave $1, you know, a month, imagine what I could do. I could make 2 Primal videos a week. Well, I guess I better get... I guess now I have enough ammo to justify maybe using this gun now, I guess. Yeah, I was enjoying it, man. It's actually fun, you know, doing co-op in that game. But unfortunately, my son had to, you know. He couldn't stay the night. I'll just put it that way. So we weren't able to play again today. I was so sad. I don't know, that must be something on your end, Wolfie. That must be some European thing. You know? Because all you have to do is just log into YouTube. You know? And then you should be able to just chat on any YouTube channel. Is anyone else having a problem with YouTube, like not being able to put chat in? You're funny, dude. I already know you're having a problem. That's why I'm asking. I'm trying to help. Okay. That doesn't sound very friendly. We got some vermin here. Oh, it's an EU thing? Yeah, the EU loves taking people's money, man. They just love taxing, controlling. Oh, you want to run away now, huh? Oh, look at all them crates. Wow, jackpot. Let's see, which one should I do first? This one? Stuff! Yay! I love getting stuff and things. Alright, ooh, there you go. Compound arrows. What else we got here? This guy wants some more, huh? Get my stamina back. It's funny that you use the stamina stops recharging just by you changing your guns. That's like lazy. Lazy coding. I mean, how much stamina do you actually use just moving your arms? Like, give me a break. Oh, that was 5 health canisters. Look at that. I don't know how many there are. Why doesn't he see me? Is he coming or is he going? Bam. Right through the guts on that one. Look at that. It just says lung, but splattered it. I guess I'll take that too. Okay. Time to get out of here now. I think it's time to go. Let's see. Definitely time to get out of here. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a T-Rex. I don't know. It's getting late. I don't have too much longer left. Let me take this here. Although I guess I could eat a mushroom or something. Let me find a mushroom. Ooh, sunglasses. Ooh, I got some nice hats here. Take that, take the sunglasses. Sounds good to me. Alright, let me run. Up. Ooh, another box. Man, when you start out with nothing, man, you really appreciate everything you get. Now, what do we got here? Ugh. He's going the other way. I'm not following. Okay, I'll take that. So I kind of wonder, like, how this game saves. Like, does it keep your information in the memory? You You know, until you shut the game off, then save it, because it just seems like it should be saving the game like constantly, you know? Excuse me. Like right now, you know, it says I'm level 7, right? And I have all this junk. So when you shut the game off and bring it back on, it's 0. You know, like, so this isn't saving it in the file, you know, like, it's really weird. So I wonder if I, like, copied the save file before I actually got off. Would that, you know, save this loadout right here that I have in my inventory, you know, and my level and all that. Maybe I should experiment with that before I actually exit the game. You know, I'll get my save file and see what it looks like. I think it's just going to erase it no matter what, because I think just because it's corrupted, like there's something wrong with it. Whereas my save file that I have from a long time ago, it's not corrupted, you know, so I'll just keep getting back on and it won't reset my game to 0. I just wish I knew how they worked so you could you can maybe try to fix it, you know, like, you know, whatever, edit it somehow. It just doesn't seem like a big thing. Like, I don't know why that's hard for them to fix. I know they're not supporting the game anymore, but still. Oh, I don't have a scope. Oh, it's very quiet. I need some action, man. Hmm. This one of mine or somebody else's? Oh, that's one of mine. Nice. Money! Now that I'm high enough, I'm gonna have to get off soon. Now I'm level 8. I don't... Oh, there we go. I guess you level pretty fast just from harvesting in the beginning. I never paid attention to the experience or whatever. You know? Oh, look at that. There's a crate over there. Eh. I'm not gonna go way over there. Ah. Oh, there's another dead one. Is that a dead one there? I missed. That's interesting. Did I hear something? I think I heard a Rex. I'll go up here and check the crates, then I'll go down and see if there's a Rex over there. I still didn't catch up to that T-Rex that I was tracking earlier. Mm. Sorry about that. People still trying to, like, I don't know. Yeah. Alright, be careful driving. People still trying to, I don't know. People, I just, you know, it's like the insanity of today is how people try to make a situation. They take a situation and they try to, like, project it into today. Like, they bring it as if it's happening today. You know what I mean? And they want to bring and they want to create the same kind of anger that you know, people had for this situation, and bring it to today, right? They want to create that kind of same feeling, and my emphasis is on the word feeling, right? Because, you know, something that happened a long, long time ago, saying that it's a which was, you know, quote unquote addressed or alleviated a long, 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 long time ago, and bringing it to today and saying that it's still a problem is it's reckless, it's irresponsible, and it totally 100% takes away from all the work and the sacrifice that people put into trying to fix or address the problem when it was a problem a long time ago, right? So, in other words, they want to kind of create the situation so that the problem was never addressed or ever fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing ever happened to fix it. And you know, people just are wasting so much energy on that. Where and because they're trying to create bring these situations to today that were already for the most part fixed, okay? They're not fixing any of today's problems, right? Today's problems are just being ignored and overlooked. And I would say sometimes on purpose. And in fact, what happens is certain people in power have policies, right, that are trying to recreate a scenario that was fixed a long, long time ago, right? It's like, you know, it's like when, say, Republicans always want to cut taxes, right? Because they want businesses to invest more, and, you know, they want them to make more profits so they can invest more and they can hire more people. So this was already proven, okay, during Trump's presidency. And this was already proven before that, you know what I mean, with other presidents. So, you know, and everybody always brings up dumb stuff like trickle-down economics and all that. Who cares about that? You know, that's got nothing to do with the conversation. You know, you cut taxes, it creates good things. It creates a good economic atmosphere for everyone. You know, everyone. It doesn't hurt anyone to cut taxes. I mean, this is like the stupidest thing that people are like convinced that if somehow like that paying taxes is good. You know, it's never really good. You know, we tolerate it for certain things, like the roads, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And when really that could actually be just taken care of locally. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, unfortunately. So, where's this guy going? So like this guy, he just keeps talking and talking. You know, it's like, oh my god. What are you talking about, man? Oh man, good grief. Yeah, so just this guy keeps like talking to me about the slavery thing. And it's like no one is in favor of slavery, okay? No one. Well, you know, some people maybe, but the majority of people they're not, okay? So let's just leave it at that there. So, you know, bringing up the fact that there's bad people in the world all the time and bringing up the fact that slavery happened in history all the time and bringing up the fact that there's poor people who have been around since the beginning of time, um, is kind of like redundantly useless. You know, it's like a redundancy of useless talk. Because it's like, if you ever want to fix problems, if you ever, you know, you don't keep bringing up things that are long gone and past, right? Or you don't bring up things that happened a long time ago that might have, you know, caused certain situations, right? As if no one ever cared, as if no one ever tried to fix the problem, you know, like slavery in America, right? This is like one of the, for some reason the left is just obsessed with it. That, you know, they just love bringing up the slavery, you know? And to me, if I was a black person, I would be very, like, I don't know, pretty upset about that. And yes, somebody might say, well, you're not a black person, so you don't have a right to say anything. Well, actually I do, because I had a lot of black friends and I got a lot of their opinions, you know? And I was raised by a black man, and he certainly didn't want to talk about slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what he said? Oh my god. No. My window minimized. You know what he used to tell me? He used to say to me, I'm not a slave because I'm a free man. You know? That's exactly what he said to me. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Stupid thing had to minimize. You know? And other people, and all my other friends, basically the same attitude. Okay? So it's just this new generation here, the last 30 years, say. Oh, that must be that's the uncommon. Come on, how many times I gotta shoot you? You know, and the other thing that kind of like just sounds so silly all the time is that people will always say that there was 400 years of slavery here in the United States. Okay? And that's not true. Because we were only a country since after the Revolutionary War. Okay? Before that, we were under the rule of England. Okay? It doesn't matter whether the colonies like made their own rules or whatever you want to call it, right? That's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? That's irrelevant because they were still under the rule of England. Right? England could have said there's no slavery allowed. If we find out you have slaves, then we're going to confiscate your land or whatever the case is, your farm, you know, whatever it is, or just get rid of them, you know. Hire, you know, make your kids do the work or something, have babies, you know. So but you know, they didn't do that because okay. they didn't do that because so, you know, it's just it's just a tiresome argument, and it's an ignorant argument, you know, to just say, well, there was slavery here for 400 years and America's United States is responsible. Well, if you're not a country, then you can't be responsible. You know? And the reason why they didn't end slavery immediately, okay, because it was discussed, you know, at the Continental Congress or whatever it was because the southern colonies or whoever, certain colonies who were, you know, dependent upon their agriculture, you know, said that it would be too much of a, you know, a burden for them to lose their workers. And I'm not agreeing with them. I'm not saying that that matters. I mean, whatever. Find a different way. You know, that would be my thing. But again, they were still colonies that worked like kind of their own. You know, there were colonies that were still in kind of independently on their own. And since they just got done with the war with England, they did not want to, you know, they felt at the time it was more important that they all stay unified as a nation, okay? Since they just got done, you know, fighting England for their independence, you know? So, yes, you could say, well, you know, yeah, okay, they were fighting for freedom, but some people didn't get their freedom. Well, that's true. I mean, but again, you still have to look at it in context. You know, yes, the slaves didn't become free. Why? Because in the minds of people, they weren't like citizens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just common sense, right? So they weren't going to budge. You know what I'm saying? And so they kept the nation together in case England decided they wanted to retaliate, which, by the way, they did. Hello. So that was a good choice at the time, because even if they agreed not to stick together as a nation, the colonies, there still would have been slavery in the South. Okay? So whether they did or didn't, there still would have been the slaves in the South. And most likely what would have happened is that if England decided they wanted to attack again, it would have been more likely that the England would have sided with the South to beat the colonies of the North. Okay? They would have tried to have some kind of a pact with them or something, you know? Because that was the big production block at the time. So, you know, the North did have industry. They were getting pretty big. But the North definitely wouldn't have wanted to go back with England. That just wouldn't have, I don't think that wouldn't have happened. You know, but either way, there still would have been slavery, right? And who knows? Maybe the colonies would have then just started their own country. And then what would you have done? God, this guy. I hate when they do that. Oh, how did they get me? My goodness. So just imagine that, you know? I know people don't like talking about this, but I mean, you gotta, you know, it's like you have to look at things as they were, you know? So you would have had like a United States consisting of the colonies of the North, right? And then you would have had colonies of the South who might have banded together to create their own country, right? If they saw any kind of a threat coming from, you know, the North or England, right? So you might have had slavery last another 100 years, you know? Or longer, who knows, you know? So the way things happened is probably the best case scenario for that time. Oh, what's that? There's two? Oh, jeez. I didn't even realize that. I thought that was the second one. Come on, that was a direct hit, man. Got him. Does slavery suck? Of course it does. The kind of slavery that, you know, was you know, during the time of the colonial of the you know, um the booming, the tobacco, the tea, the cotton, you know what I mean? Because you had people in Africa, tribes in Africa capturing other tribes and then selling them off to these slave drivers, you know? So yeah, that's terrible. That's not, you know, again, people don't even understand that people were slaves for many different reasons. And we call, you know, you could call them servants, slaves, servants. You know, it depended on the situation. People became servants sometimes because they owed a lot of money to somebody, so they had to, you know, they were forced to work for them for a period of time until they paid off their debt, or they broke the law, and it was up to the family who was harmed to either have the person as a servant or slave, whatever you want to call it, or they go to prison, you know? And that was a way to pay your dues for the offense, so to speak, you know? So you know, this whole thing that, like, they just want to, like, box it into just North America, right? Like, oh, North America is the only bad place that had slaves. when you had slavery all through Africa, in Asia, on every continent practically. You know, that, you know, certainly North America, Asia, and Europe, and Africa. You know what I'm saying? So it's just again, to like blame the United States for something that the United States only actually had for 55 years. Okay? Because once they became a nation, they eradicated it rather quickly. You know? 55 years is a long time, yes, but it's not long on a historical scale. I mean, that's pretty quick. And we didn't just eradicate slavery, you know, through some kind of just getting together and having happy talk. We had a civil war where people, you know, killed each other over not just slavery, but many different issues of the time. $500,000 lives, and then a whole bunch that were maimed and crippled. So I would say that that's pretty, you know, that's a pretty good pay. You know what I'm saying? For what was going on. You know, for the deeds that were not what we would call, you know, America's best deeds, but you know, I'm just sick of just hearing like, again, it's like something that happened so long ago, and to like bring it to today as if it's still happening is just absurdity. It just totally discounts, like I said before, all the lives that were lost in the Civil War, which included, mind you, black people, white people, Indians. It involved a lot of different people, you know? So, all those lives, you're basically saying didn't matter. The sacrifice that they made didn't matter. You know, the sacrifice that the Christians made and the other groups that were back there advocating to end slavery, all their work was for nothing, is basically what you're saying. And just ignore the fact that slavery ended in America. Just ignore it. Never happened. Yeah, let's just get everyone angry about it again, rather than celebrating the fact that it ended. That's why I will never, you know, it's like I'll never like comply with this kind of nonsense kind of thinking. God, how many bullets, man? Yeah, it's just like one thing after another after another. They just pile everything on top of each other. You know, like that's all the left does. They get this group together and then they get them angry. They get this group together and they get them angry. And they get this group together and they get them angry. And they get this group together and get them angry. So now you got 20 different groups out here of people who think that something bad is happening to them when it's not. When it's the left who's making the laws and the regulations and the high taxes that are oppressing people. They're the ones that are doing it. Anyway, sorry about that rant. It's just I'm just sick of people on Twitter trying to like get me to feel guilty about what we fixed already. When I had a black dad, and when I had plenty of black friends, I know how they thought, how they lived. It's like, you're trying to like tell me something that's opposite of what my eyes see. It's like, and what I've experienced in my own life. People aren't stupid, but apparently some people are just so dopey or just so selfish, really, because why would you get angry over something that's not really a problem unless you want something out of the deal? You know what I mean? That's selfish. And that's all there is to it. And I'm not talking about the people of color who are wanting something per se, although they're guilty of the same. But the white people who get out there and they're all like, slavery, 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 like all they want is the free stuff too. They're not doing it because of true virtue. They're getting attention. They're getting money. They're getting likes on social media. You know what I mean? They're getting loved. That's all they want. They're not doing it because they care about black people or any other person of color. I mean, like I said, I grew up in a black town. Well, it turned to a black town. And I had a black dad. And I got beat up because I had a mixed parents. Made fun of because my mom and dad got married. You know what I mean? So, but is that going to make me think differently of black people because they beat me up? Because I had mixed family, I mean, that's just nonsensical. That's just irrational. I'm upset at those people that beat me up. I'm not going to be upset at every other black person. So that kind of thinking is what's wrong. Blaming people who didn't do anything wrong for things that happened that were wrong, just because. Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Utah, for scaring that trike off. My general attitude is I love everyone across the board. I don't have any hatred towards anybody. If you treat me badly, then obviously I'm going to have some lesser feelings for you. But I'm still not going to make it a point to hate your guts, to the point where I want you to not exist. Every human life is precious, No one person can ever be repeated. Each person is unique in their appearance and their DNA. So there's only going to be one me, and there's only going to be one you. Never to be duplicated. But the way these people talk, they just dehumanize whoever they feel like dehumanizing. And then their justification is, oh, because of slavery, because of what happened 200 years ago. Like, really? I mean, that's really what makes you feel good and sleep at night after you hurt people? I mean, that's just sad. Sad and sick-minded. That's what it is. All right, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. I gotta get the bus and go pick up the kids at school. So anyway, thank you for watching. Um, Tell me what you think in the comments. You know, do you know where I'm coming from when I talk like this? You know, because I'm only talking like fact. You know, I'm talking what used to be common knowledge, which is now like, oh, show me your evidence. Show me the documentation that tells you that. Show me this, show me that. You know, and then they talk about, well, I read this book and I read that book. Well, the book you read is just somebody else's opinion. You know what I'm saying? They're going to write it according to how they believe, you know? But the problem is that they leave out too much stuff. You know, they don't include all the facts. So remember, your freedom is the most important thing. Fight for your freedom. Don't ever vote away your freedom no matter what you're told. Okay? Don't give up your freedom because somebody says you're doing the right thing because you're saving humanity. No. Each individual has to make their own choice to do the right things when it comes to taking care of the planet, you know? And climate change doomsday is not one of those things that you give up your rights for because that's not a thing. That's called a speculation, which is really based off of no real hard evidence or physics even, you know? So, anyway, adios. Love y'all. Bye.